When fighting wildland fires, you're protecting both your property in land, but your biggest concern is your home. So you want to, first of all, make sure, as we have spoke, about keeping the fire away from the house. But what we can do to prevent the house from catching on fire is keeping that house cool. We can do that with just a standard garden hose, and it's amazing to see. You can even be in a subdivision where you have homes that are just 30 feet away. Both homes on both sides have totally burned, and a person like Walter here, just doing what he's about to do, will prevent your house from catching on fire. Significant. Some other things that you can do with a garden hose is, and some of the video that we'll show, is where we use agents like the fire ice and different ones, which will coat that house and prevent it from catching on fire. But Walter showed us what we can do just with a garden hose to prevent this house from catching on fire. But before we start, what do we have up here? We have lines coming to the house. Make sure that you're keeping away from those lines because we don't want you to get electrocuted. So work around those lines, but make sure that you're keeping that roof and the side of the house all the way around good and coated if we're having challenges with forest fires coming in and heating up the area. I fought many fires before with the large hoses in neighbors' houses which were exposed to that heat, but we didn't have the manpower to go and also protect that house as well as we wanted to. And those neighbors were just out there with a garden hose doing exactly what Walter's doing to prevent that from catching on fire. Yes, we can put up a fire curtain with a large hose, but we may not have the manpower to do that. And so what Walter's doing here, just keeping that surface good and cool, will prevent this from catching on fire at a lower probability. If you have the opportunity to choose your home structure, you can actually make your home more fire retardant. As we look at probably one of the biggest areas that we see first that's affected is the roof. The most dangerous type of roof is the shingles that are made out of wood. And as embers float into that, get stuck, it will cause those wood shingles to catch on fire. They're beautiful, they look great, but that house is definitely a danger. The best type of roof construction is a metal roof construction. The other thing you want to look at is what is your siding made out of. If you can use a masonry type of siding that's a lap like this, but out of masonry, you'll actually be more fire retardant as that heat comes up to it, and it's less prone to ignite. The next area you want to look at is what is the area of the house look like. A lot of folks will just build the house right in the middle of the woods. They don't cut those trees around, and I understand it. It's pretty, it's nice, but you're a lot more prone to getting your house catching on fire if you have that fuel right up to your house. So as these folks here have done, we've got a few trees here, but that's not too bad. But you want to cut back as they've done back over in here and over in these areas back around the other sides of the house. They've gotten those fuels away from the home, so if a fire comes into that area, a forest fire, and catches those trees out, it crowns out, as further back as you can be, the less prone that radiant heat will come over here and ignite that house. The other thing you want to do, even go back further from where your trees are and keep that area picked up. Just as these folks have done here, is you don't have fallen dead branches or whatever. That's been picked up. As that fire comes in and you have fuels laying on the ground, dead fuels, those guys are going to catch on fire very fast. And if you can have that area nice and clean like this area, that you don't have those fuels, you're a lot less prone to catch on fire. Now, if it's the fall and you have fire coming, go ahead and rake the yard, get those leaves up, and that will also help. As Walter and I work with the United States Forestry Service, we're seeing a significant change in how they are fighting forest fires and how they're protecting homes. One of the significant changes is where they are not spending as much time cutting around the homes with cutting fire lines and staging to keep that area free from fire. They're going in and they are providing an agent, a fire retardant agent, onto the siding of those homes, the roofs of those homes, and then leaving. And it's really interesting. They're finding that that agent, which may go 1 inch, 2 inches thick, it is lasting over 24 hours. You could actually have a forest fire come in here and we're not even having the windows break. That is tremendous. And so as we look at ways that we can make your house more fire retardant, more fire resistant, I encourage you to look at using a product such as a foaming agent or a wetting agent. A foaming agent is working better, but putting that, if we see imminent danger, that fire coming in pretty close and it looks like we're not able to control that, have enough time, coat that house, and it doesn't take that long. We're looking at, you can get that whole house done in 30 minutes and you'll be protected at least 24 hours. We're seeing as much as 3 days having fire resistance with these products such as Fire Ice and different ones. And you just pump that onto your walls, onto your roofs, and the house is a lot more fire resistant. Another new technology that we're seeing in the fire service is portable pumps. And it's really neat because we can use a portable pump where you will drop your draft line or hose into a swimming pool, into a jacuzzi, a hot tub, into a local creek or a pond, and you can draft out of that and you can then put water on the house and protect that house by keeping the fuels cool there, the siding or the roofing. You can also take that and you can spray your woods, your grass areas and what all, and keep that area good and wet and cool. You can also make a system where you can actually put pipes in that may run over to that part of the house, may run over to this area, may run over to this area, and work like an extended hose line. And you can pump from that portable pump into that area, and you can take your hose over there, you can take your hose over here, you can take your hose over there, and you can actually fight fire from those other areas and not have to move that pump or your water source from that area. We're also finding those same products are now pumping the foam products or a product that's a wetting agent that we can go, and especially the foam items, we can put that on the sides of the house, on the roof of the house, and that area is now being protected for up to 24 hours, even up to as much as 3 days. The U.S. Forestry Service, again, is finding that lasting at least 24 hours. We can also spread that on the fuels out there, the trees, on the grass, and it will not catch on fire, which is pretty amazing to me. So not only are you bound just to that portable pump, and that 1 or 2 1.5 inch fire hose that's hooked to that, and regular nozzle, regular fireman nozzle, but you also can pump into that line that will go just like in a high-rise. When we hook into those standpipes, you can actually standpipe your area going to different areas, up to the barn, up to the shop, onto the other side of the house, and you can fight fire from those areas without moving that pump. If you're trying to figure out a way to get water, you can go to your local hardware store, get a cistern that's maybe 1,200 gallons. If you put a product like Fire Ice in there, you can actually multiply that 1,200 gallons by 10, and now that's 12,000 gallons, and it's able to provide much, much longer. The regular fire truck is about 1,000 gallons. Now we're looking at the effectiveness of 10 fire trucks sitting at your house, protecting your house, if you put a product like the Fire Ice in that.